Now, look, Trump is set to meet in person with Russian President Vladimir Putin as soon as next week and then have a possible peace summit with Putin and the Ukrainian president. This is what Trump said.
There's a very good chance that we could be ending the round, ending the end of that road. That road was long and continues to be long, but there's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
Ami, look, it seems as though there's been some progress being made here. How instrumental do you think Donald Trump has been in this process?
Absolutely vital. And I think there probably will be a peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia, and it's going to be because of Donald Trump. But make no mistake about it, Danica, Trump is not going to win a Nobel Peace Prize. How do I know it? Because he created peace with far more implacable enemies for a far longer period of time, the Israelis and the Gulf states. Yeah, nary a vote he did for the Peace Prize then, so don't think he's going to win it going forward. Look, he's built credibility with both sides, right, in the Trump style, right, that we oftentimes actually criticized. Turns out he knew better. Remember when he built credibility with Putin when he threw out Zelensky and talked tough with Zelensky, threw him out of the Oval Office. Remember that? I think that's what we're showing on the screen right now. And vice versa, built credibility with Zelensky with his very talk of Russia now going forward and the threatening he did of Russia if they didn't comply. And frankly, look, I've been critical of the tariffs. I'll tell you this, the fact that he's using tariffs to wield them against the behaviors of countries he doesn't like, that's something Russia is paying attention to for sure. It also helped that he bombed the hell out of Iran. Look, Trump has taken the adage of Theodore Roosevelt, walk softly and carry a big stick, and changed it a little bit, which is carry a big stick and stomp and yell and scream all around, okay? He doesn't walk softly ever. I think it's actually helped. So yeah, look, the only shame in this whole thing, Danica, is that we're going to get to a peace deal, which we could have got. We knew what this was going to look like from the beginning. Okay, Russia is going to keep certain parts of the Russian part of eastern Ukraine, Donetsk and Crimea, and obviously there'll be security guarantees for Ukraine. We could have had this hundreds of thousands of deaths ago. It's a shame that it couldn't be done, certainly under Biden, and hopefully it'll happen under sooner rather than later under Trump.
Yeah, I mean, Biden couldn't do anything, let's be honest, but I do agree. Let's just hope that Donald Trump does make it happen. And as you said, all systems are certainly heading in that direction right now. We can only pray for peace, that's for sure. Now, Ami, a new poll has found Elon Musk is the most hated public figure among a list of prominent American and global personalities. That's according to a Gallup survey of Americans on their views of 14 powerful public figures. So as you can see there, Elon Musk is the #1 hated, followed by Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu, Marco Rubio, and then Donald Trump. What do you make of this, Ami? Elon Musk, why?
Look, it makes a little bit of sense, only because clearly he's hated by the entire left, and he's also hated on the hard right MAGA base as well, right? So yeah, those numbers kind of make sense, but look, it doesn't make sense because he really might be one of the most accomplished human beings who have ever lived on this planet. Danica, he didn't just create 3 businesses. He created 3 industries, and not just any industry: electronic payment, electric cars, private space travel. Those are the industries that he built. It's unbelievable. Look, I think what's even more interesting in those numbers was that, and scary, was that the #3 most popular was Bernie Sanders at nearly 50%, right? Bernie Sanders, and what that shows me is this, is that he has the Bernie Sanders philosophy, the radicalism of Comrade Bernie. Because of that number, that's the entire Democratic base. The entire Democratic base looks upon him favorably because they like his philosophy. And by the way, it's not enough to make up that 50% of the Democratic base. That also means he's got some of these hard right horseshoe theory right-wingers who have moved to the left because of the horseshoe theory of politics. He's got some of them also. Also, I think was interesting was that Joe Biden was 2% ahead of Donald Trump. I guess that makes sense because we always speak fondly of the nearly departed.
Yeah, that is a very good point. And you're right. I mean, Elon Musk is a self-made billionaire. Good on him, I say. I think people have got a problem. Maybe they're just a bit jealous as well. Now, look, the race for New York City mayor, it's heating up again. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's running as an independent, has called out socialist candidate Zoran Memdani for owning property in Uganda, despite the country's anti-LGBT policies. I mean, does he have a point here?
Yeah, look, not the biggest Cuomo fan in the world. I know that's not shocking, but he's certainly better than Mamdani. I like this move, right? He turned the wokeness of Mamdani right around on him, using it as a weaponizing against Mamdani. Particularly, I liked his BDS phrasing, turning his anti-Israel, anti-Semitic words onto himself as well. But here's the problem, is that it's just falling on deaf ears, because this is nothing new, right? The woke, I mean, look no farther than the left's focus and support of Hamas, in specific, and frankly, the Palestinians in general. They've all been, I don't know what you call anti-LGBTQ. They throw them off of roofs. So yeah, that's pretty anti-LGBTQ. But we've been pushing that line forever against the woke, and that hasn't made a difference. They still support the Palestinians, because ultimately, what they are most loyal not to their supposed beliefs of love for one another and openness for one another, but rather their belief in straight up equality and Marxism. So they support the Palestinians because they see them as the oppressor-oppressed matrix. That's really the bigger problem there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to have much of an effect.
No, look, fair enough, but yeah, it's heating up, isn't it? Now, look, Ami, I absolutely love this next story. Dean Cain, who starred as the Man of Steel in the series Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman back in the 80s, has announced that he's joining ICE to support the illegal immigration crackdown. Here's his announcement.
For those who don't know, I am a sworn law enforcement officer, as well as being a filmmaker. I felt it was important to join with our first responders to help secure the safety of all Americans, not just talk about it. So I joined up.
Ami, a little bit of life imitating art.
Oh, look at that hair that Dean Cain is still rocking. Unbelievable. That's the real Superman that he's, right? Look, Dean Cain's not just a great actor. He's a great guy, wonderful dude. This is not surprising at all. Love the guy. Yeah, Dean Cain's all about truth, justice, and the American way. And by the way, the new Supermans have become so woke that they've dropped the American way, but not Dean Cain.
Not Dean Cain. He is American all the way. We love to see it. Ami Horowitz, nice to catch up. Thanks so much for joining me on the show.